What if I told you that in 2025, America has become a country where people literally can't afford the gas to drive to the job that's supposed to pay them, where 1 in 3 people are financially worse than they were last year, and nearly half of all adults think their neighborhoods are unaffordable? We've got fresh data from multiple surveys that paint a picture of American finances that's more of a horror movie than a success story. Let's start with the cost of living. According to a recent survey, 45% of American adults describe the cost of living in their area as either not very affordable or not affordable at all. This means nearly half of all adults are struggling with basic living expenses in their current location. This affordability crisis isn't just about luxury items or discretionary spending. We're talking about fundamental costs like housing, transportation, food, and utilities. When nearly half the population finds their area unaffordable, it indicates a significant disconnect between wages and living costs. The data shows that 45% of adults report their income just about matches their expenses, while approximately 30% say their monthly expenses actually exceed their monthly income. This creates a situation where a significant portion of Americans are either breaking even or falling behind each month. This is insane. 97% of Americans are facing financial stress. Let that sink in. 97%. But here's where it gets absolutely terrifying. 71% are experiencing extreme stress. That's nearly 3 out of 4 people in complete financial panic mode. And the consequences? 40% have missed work because of this stress, and 46% have had to skip expenses just to survive. When half the country is skipping bills, you know we're in crisis territory. Now look at this emergency savings disaster. 24% of Americans have zero savings, absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, 46% think they had 3+ months covered. But here's a kicker, 33% actually have more debt than savings, and a staggering 60% are uncomfortable with their level of emergency funds. This chart shows the financial deterioration happening right now. 33% say their finances have worsened, 45% can't afford their living costs, 30% have expenses exceeding income, and 47% are low-income struggling families. Nearly half the population can't afford basic living costs. That's not an economic slowdown, that's a full-blown crisis. Finally, the most damning chart, the savings reality gap. 85% of people think they have adequate emergency savings, but in reality, only 46% actually had 3+ months of expenses saved. That's a 39% gap between perception and reality. Looking at financial trends over time, the data reveals concerning patterns. 1 in 3 Americans report that their financial situation has deteriorated over the past year. This decline is most pronounced among low-income individuals and older generations, suggesting that certain demographic groups are being disproportionately affected. When expenses exceed income, Americans employ different strategies. About 40% say they would cut spending, while 26% would dip into their savings. However, this raises important questions about the sustainability of these approaches, particularly regarding savings depletion. Financial setbacks appear to be increasingly common. Lower income households and older adults experience the most significant challenges. This suggests that financial vulnerability may be concentrating among those who are least equipped to handle economic shocks. The savings picture presents a mixed but concerning outlook. A little more than half of Americans express satisfaction with their current savings levels. However, close to 1/3 report being very dissatisfied or completely dissatisfied with their savings. These findings regarding savings levels has practical implications for financial security. Emergency funds serve as a crucial buffer against unexpected expenses, job losses, or economic downturns. When a significant portion of the population feels inadequately prepared for financial emergencies, it creates broader economic vulnerability. The gap between savings satisfaction and actual need suggests that many Americans recognize they're not adequately prepared for financial challenges, even if they haven't yet experienced a crisis that would require emergency funds. Understanding personal finances requires awareness of key metrics, and the data shows varying levels of financial knowledge among Americans. Regarding net worth, 58% of Americans say they know their net worth, while 21% say they do not know it. and another 21% are unsure. The data indicates that awareness generally increases with both age and income level, suggesting that financial literacy may be tied to life experience and economic resources. Credit scores present another important measure of financial awareness. Most respondents, 78%, say they know their credit scores. However, 28% report knowing little to nothing about their savings and spending habits actually impact their credit rating. This creates an interesting disconnect. While most people know their credit score number, a significant portion don't understand the behaviors that influence it. Nearly half of Americans, 44%, say their credit score has influenced a financial decision in the past year, while 55% say it has not. This suggests that credit awareness, while widespread, may not be translating into consistent financial decision-making for all consumers. These statistics paint a picture of an American population facing significant financial pressures, with 45% finding their areas unaffordable, 30% spending more than they earn, and 1/3 seeing their financial situation worsen over the past year. We're looking at a widespread financial stress. The combination of affordability challenges, insufficient savings, and gaps in financial literacy creates a complex situation that affects individuals, families, and the broader economy. Large portions of the population are financially stressed. It can impact consumer spending, economic growth, and overall economic stability. If you found this data helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more financial and economic content. What trends do you see in your own financial situation or community? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.